Hello everybody, this is Bill Ash. In this video I'm going to show you how to enter math expressions into the Python interpreter. We're at this interactive prompt in idle. Idle is the IDE that is bundled with Python, and I'm going to use this just to do some quick math calculations. Okay, so first thing to keep in mind with this first example here is that division is represented by a / with Python. Okay, so I can enter in this expression 129 divided by 15, hit enter, and I get my answer 8.6, right? So just like any scientific calculator, Python can handle the division, gives us our answer. Beautiful. Okay, the next example, we have some fractions. Now, Python doesn't have a syntax for us to enter fractions into the command line per se, but we can enter them in using division, right? So I can start with my numerator here. So I'm going to go 3, and I need to do the implied multiplication explicitly with Python. So I'm going to have to use the asterisk symbol. Okay, asterisk means multiply with Python. Okay, so I'm going to multiply times the quantity 4 minus 2. So I put my parentheses. Python understands parentheses quite well, and it can work that out for us. Okay, now I'm going to divide by 5, and this is my first fraction, right? This is the first term of this expression over here. Next, I'm just going to add 3 over 5 and hit enter, and now I have my answer, 1.79999999998. Okay, the answer here is a little tricky to explain. It's not, the answer is 1.8, but Python, because of the way it does math, it's going to give us this as our answer. Okay, if I'm going to use this calculation in other places, then it will have that 1.8 that I want, but if I'm looking for it to output this number, it's going to give me this crazy decimal. Okay, so the answer here is 1.8. If you don't believe me, you can do the math. It's 1.8. It's 1.8 because it's 9 over 5, and then that gets turned into 1 and 4 over 5, which is 1.8. Okay, the next one, we have some negative numbers here. So we have a -3 times quantity 2 minus 6. Okay, and we're going to take away 12. All right, hit enter, and I get 0. Okay, so Python is able to handle these negatives, no problem. -3 times quantity 2 minus 6, well, that would be -4. So -3 times -4, positive 12. Positive 12 take away 12 is 0. So looking good there. All right, the next one is quite a bit more complicated. Okay, so I have this radical expression. This is a square root. In order to get the square root into Python, I'm going to use an exponent, actually. Okay, so we're going to get 2 for here. We're going to see how to do square roots. We're going to see how to do exponents. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is start off with some parentheses, because all of this is having the square root done to it. And I'm going to put in everything I see underneath the radical symbol. So everything underneath here. So I'm going to go 16 minus quantity 2 times 3 plus 1. Okay. And now that I have everything written there, I need to now do the square root part, right? So in Python, to show exponential, we use the double asterisk symbol. Double asterisk means exponential, okay? And I'm going to put it to the half power, okay? So when you have a decimal exponent, you actually end up with a radical expression. And when you exponent to a half power, that's the square root. Okay, so entering this in as so, I get the answer 3.0, which is correct, because if we were to compute this here, that's 2 times 3, 6 plus 1 is 7, 16 minus 7 is 9, the square root of 9 is 3, so 3.0. We get our nice float for our answer here. The last one is some scientific notation stuff. Okay, so if you want to enter scientific notation into Python, they actually provide for us a nice syntax for doing that. So I can enter 1.3, but instead of saying times 10 to the second power, I could do that, but I'm going to use something else. I'm going to say e to the second. Okay, and this here is equivalent to this term. Okay, if I then take away 2 times e to the third power, okay, hit enter, I get the answer negative 1870.0. This is correct because 1.3 times e times 10 to the second is 130, and 130 minus 2,000, which is what this is equal to, right? So we got 130 minus 2,000, and if I just want to verify that, hit enter, you get the same answer, okay? There's one other thing I failed to mention here, and that's integer division. Integer division is a little different than the division with the forward slash. We use 2 forward slashes to say integer division, and it can have a pretty big impact on our answer if we use integer division. So let's try that out. So 129 integer division 15. If we hit enter, we get 8. Okay, so what's happening here? Well, we are throwing out our remainder when we use integer division. Integer division doesn't care about the remainder or the decimal part. It just gives us the whole number part. Okay, so in some circumstances, that's what we're going to want to use. In other circumstances, it's very much not what we want to use. Integer division is represented by 2 forward slashes. Regular division, a single forward slash. Another thing I didn't mention is, well, what happens if you get the slash wrong? Right? Well, we get a syntax error. Okay, so a backslash has a special meaning in most programming languages. It means it's the escape character. So it's looking for something after that backslash that would indicate some operation, something that it needs to do. Skip to a new line or something like that, right? So when we put that backslash and we just put numbers after it, Python gets really confused. Okay, so make sure when you're doing division, use the forward slash. So in sum, that was how to enter mathematical expressions in Python, or how to use Python as a calculator. I hope that was helpful. Next, what we're going to do is learn how to do algebra with Python. Thank you very much for watching.